Ahoy there, crew! This is your captain speaking, and today we're working on more art fight attacks. To start off this week's bunch of artworks, I wanted a little palette cleanser, just something simple I could get down quickly. Popping onto the homepage of Artfight, I found this adorable little guy, Catty Chap. He's one of Bunachoo's characters. They have quite the assortment of characters with such fun names that I hope to draw them in the future. I tried mimicking the original style of Catty Chap a little, while still trying to blend it with my own style. It ended up looking very similar, but still different, you know? But here is the little Doodle. I think it came out very cute. And of course, what would my next R5 video be without getting out a few more revenges? Especially when it comes to the little chain I had going with Birdie Feathers. She left me with such a beautiful scene with Karina, I just had to get her back. At this point, I only had 3 characters left of hers that I hadn't drawn yet. 2 of those characters happened to be best friends, so I just had to draw them together. Their names are Damien and Ray. Damien seems to be Birdie Feathers' sunshine character. He works as a delivery driver. He often visits Atlas when he is nearby for work. I actually drew Atlas already. My first attack of the year was of them. But anyway, Damien is best friends with Ray. Ray is labeled as the Sunshine Protector. Very cute. He got hired at a luxury goods store because he is handsome. All of Birdie Feather's characters have such pretty hair, but I think Ray's is probably my favorite. I just love the braids and the use of the 2 colors. Since these 2 are labeled as the Sunshine and the Sunshine Protector, I really wanted to emphasize that in my piece. I started off drawing Damien riding on Ray's back. I thought this was a good way to showcase their dynamic, but I really wanted to incorporate Damien's cat Otter into the mix. That's when I decided to draw Otter walking in front of them. It ended up looking like he was taking them for a walk. But here's the final piece. I really like how it came out. It was fun drawing a character interaction for once. So just as a warning, this piece is a little more creepy than what I usually draw. It's a revenge piece for Raviolifox, who drew this gorgeous piece of me and Kiwi together. So I decided to draw her character, Lacey. Lacey is a 17-year-old girl that is forever wandering around a dead forest. She has to do errands for birds to keep them at bay. A white-backed vulture with black runny eyes manipulates her. She is always tired and rarely smiles. She has such a pretty design and such a cool story concept behind her. I would love to know more about her. I've always wanted to delve a little more into horror art, and this was my chance. I promptly got to work. Technically, I decided to draw her in a very simple pose, but I was okay with that, since there was a lot of other aspects that could raise this piece to greatness, such as Lacey's horrified facial expression, the black inkiness dropping down from the vulture into Lacey's eyes, and then finally, my favorite part, the dramatic lighting. Here is the final piece for Raviolifox. I'm so happy with how this came out. I'm really proud of myself for this one. Just popping in to remind you to like the video, which I assume you do if you made it this far, and subscribe to join our little pirate crew. Up next, I swung my art in the whole opposite direction to make a much more wholesome piece of Lusticia Days, I hope I'm saying the right characters, Morose and Venetta. I couldn't decide between the 2, so I had to draw them both. Venetta was the first character of theirs that caught my eye, a cute dragon lady with a blue color scheme. At the time of drawing, she didn't really have a description, but at the time of writing the script, her description got some new additions, so I'll quickly go over those. At first glance, she is just a lurking shadow in the sea of celebrations and cheers after the great healing acts of the weeping deity. Then she is the winged demigod in the ramshackle temple on the edge of town. If you get lucky, maybe she'd be the honest and direct mediator that magically appeared before divine intervention from the deities of harmony, as though Venetta was a sort of omen. But the truth is, Venetta doesn't fit exactly into any of those descriptions. Venetta was just forced to be there. Being the sole apprentice of one of the harmony gods, the weeping deity Eurythia, isn't easy after all. But now for Morose. It got my attention as I was going through Lusticia Day's other characters. Moros is a goofy spirit that likes to possess statues for funsies and scare unsuspecting people and animals, or trick them into thinking they're a deity. The actual form is the eyeball on their ref sheet. The humanoid ones are the stone statues they possess. I thought their concept was fun and just had to incorporate their shenanigans into an artwork. And what better person to scare than Vanetta, who also caught my eye? And of course, Morose's attempt to scare her would have to fail. I had so much fun drawing this little character interaction. I should really do this more. But this is how the artwork for Lustitia Day turned out. I'm really happy with it. I even added a light red layer over it to make the scene a little pinker and warmer. I happened to receive another lovely piece of malachite drawn by Cularts. I really love the roughness and the blocky shading of this. It has such a cool vibe, so of course I had to make some art back. I had quite a few characters to pick from, but one properly caught my eye. This character was Denton. He's a blind young boy. His own living hair looks after him, sort of like a service dog. Denton is often very sleepy and enjoys long rests with his pet. This design is just too cute to pass up. I was going to draw them taking a nap, all curled up together, but after finishing the sketch, it looked a little lackluster, so I had to switch it up. I turned the artwork into more of a half-body piece and had them just face the camera. It's pretty simple, but I think the shapes I brought in with Denton's hair really makes this piece pop in a way. Here it is though, it may be simple, but it's very cute in my opinion. Now, the last piece I made was a revenge for Moni. They made some minor changes to fake hearts in this piece, but I think it's very majestic. So of course I had to make some art back for them. They mark their characters with hearts based on who they want art of most. Their character Adred Anderson was the only character marked with 2 hearts, so of course I chose to draw him. I think 3 character and creativity heavy pieces this week left me not in the best condition to want to draw more complex pieces, so I opted for another simple half-body artwork. But back to the topic of Adred. He has quite a lot in his description, but I'll try to go over most of it. Adred started out as a Stranger Things OC, then evolved into his own character, which is how I come up with a lot of my own characters, so that's nice. Adred is a sweetheart. He's a little shy but kind-hearted. He's somewhat sarcastic but wouldn't hesitate to lend a hand. Adred is the eldest son of a family of 4. His younger sister Jordan was born with a condition that caused her to need a wheelchair. He adores her, even though when he was younger he was a bit jealous of all the attention she got. He doesn't blame his parents for paying more attention to her, because she needed it. But he is still angry at them for leaving him adrift when Adred was just a child himself, which is very fair. He's obsessed with fish and loves going to the aquarium. He spends hours looking at fish in pet stores. Nothing makes him happier than going to the local pond and throwing food to the fish. He also likes to bake desserts, partly because Jordan likes to eat sweet things on days when her pain is worse. So it has become normal for Adred to bake for Jordan from time to time. I decided to just draw him waving at the camera with an awkward look on his face. I also made a point of it to not have him making eye contact with the viewers since he is a little shy. Here he is though, it's a simple piece but still cute. I love his hair and eye color combo, it looks really nice together. Lastly, I got this little doodle from Spark as a revenge for my pen drawing of their character. I like the scruffy look, especially of the lower doodle. But that's all for today, Krew. Thanks so much to everyone who let me draw their characters and those who drew mine. Definitely check everyone out through the links in the description. I hope to see you all again for our next voyage. Bye bye!